Hey coin collectors and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel, and today it's the $1 bill from Canada, the former $1 bill from Canada that got replaced by the loonie. And there's the loonie there, and there's the loonie dollar. Worries about counterfeiting, worries about how long the paper dollar bills would stay in place. And the paper dollars had to be probably, they lasted maybe a shelf life of about 4 or 5 years usually before they had to be returned and redone. And so when they came out with the loonie in 1987, it changed things a lot. You see, this is a 1989, still in fine shape for using. A 1989 dollar, on the other hand, probably wouldn't be in such great shape. So we see it's a Canada or Canadian dollar. We see there's a 1 in this corner and the English word one over here, O-N-E, and it says $1 here. On this side, though, there's a 1, and down here, there's the French word un, or one, un dollar. So we need to always remember that the Canadian currency will be both in French and in English when they can do that. It says Canada here, $1 on this side, the number 1, $1 on this side. On this side, Bank of Canada, see there. And on this side, Bank de Canada, I guess you could say. This says Ottawa 1954. What does that tell us about Queen Elizabeth? So there's Queen Elizabeth right there. She ascended to the throne in 1952. The first money came out in 1953, and this, I believe, is one of the first banknotes, the 1954. You see on these banknotes, it'll say the same as it does in the United States banknotes. Will pay to the bearer on demand. The year it was originally printed. And in Canada, at this level, they all said 1954 until the new ones came out. So even if it was printed in 55, 60, 56, 58, 59, still say 1954 on it. They changed that later. Then on this side, it says in French, essentially will pay to the bearer on demand. Down here we see the governor here of the mint, and down here we see the deputy governor of the Bank of Canada. I'm sorry, not the mint. Up here, serial numbers, and this serial number should be the same. And then if we go way down in, we see that it has a seal down underneath, the Canadian emblem. And let's see if we can see that right through the, sometimes we can see that right through the, let's move this other one out of the way, and let's look right through it. In this one, we can't see it so great. We can see through it, but let's try to change the light. That's better. So now you can see this kind of seal back here. This is the crowned lion with the unicorn on one side here, and the lion or horse on the other side, I'm sorry. Down here we see the shield with the Irish harp, the French fleur-de-lis, the Canadian maple leaf, and the Canadian maple leaf, and the Canadian maple leaf. And see how this is all set up. And so there's the fleur-de-lis, there's the Union Jack. You can see these, the lion on this side and the unicorn on this side and the crown lion at the top. So when you try to figure out if these are real or counterfeit, they didn't have the strip in them yet, the identifying strip. So you have to look at these a different way. Down here at the very bottom, you see British American Banknote Company Limited. That's who prints these, the British, someday they call it the BANBN. All right, what's on the back? Well, in this one here from 1954, we see it says the same, French and English $1. We see the ones, and we just see somewhere in Western Canada, this looks like, where they grow the wheat in the plains, maybe Saskatchewan, Manitoba. We see the telephone poles. The Canadian plains, we see the cloud, big cloudy sky. The Canadian plains go on forever, and this is a great picture of them. You saw that we had another bill down there, and I'll show you that one. This one's from 1967, and this is the centennial bill. So let me move the other one out from underneath. So this is the centennial of the Canadian Federation, the 100th year of Canada being independent, essentially. Same thing, $1, $1. Then down here, same centenary of the Federation in French. Um, all the same kind of stuff on the side. We see this over here, this kind of different symbol, and we note that that wasn't on the original one. And this is the kind of this tree-shaped form with the 100th anniversary numbers on them. And then finally we get to the back and we see that this is the first Parliament building in Canada. I think it was still in Ottawa, and it's just a picture of it. I think some of it might still be there. It certainly looks very similar to that when you go to Ottawa. And on the back you can see the carriages and the horses and the people kind of gathering outside the Parliament building, the first Canadian Parliament building. So this would be the 100th anniversary of when Canada first started its Parliament. All right, so these bills are no longer in service. The last issue of the $1 bill was 1989. The last issue of the $2 bill was 1996. And I'll show you a $2 bill, pretty similar. This is a much newer one, of course, and you see that it's still in French and English, an older version of the Queen, of course. I believe she was in her 50s or maybe right around 60 when this one was done. And they actually on July 1st, I believe, 2021, they said you can't take these and use them in stores or anything anymore. If you wanted to use one of these, you have to redeem it. January 1st, 2021, I mean, no longer legal tender. You have to take this to the Bank of Canada or your bank to redeem it for a current coin or dollar. All right, that's all we have from DC Coin World. Love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.